Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and Uber is in trouble. Uber also is very, very lucky and happy right now, which means I basically am going to be making two videos. You're getting two news videos, one today, one tomorrow, guaranteed. Hallelujah, everybody celebrate. The Apptrepreneur almost came to doing a couple videos, but I'm going to start vacation tomorrow, so that's why I'm going to save the videos tomorrow, just so you have something to watch. But today we're going to talk about how Uber's in trouble, because as they say, you got to get rid of the bad. We'll get the bad out of the way first, and then get on to the good news. So maybe it should be reversed because we like the bad news with Uber, but anyway. So remember that data breach from earlier this year that the new Uber CEO had to basically talk about? I mean, I must have wondered, that must have been like an eye-opener for him on how tough his job was going to be. Here he is. He's taking over a company that is mired in sexual assault scandals, mired in misogyny, mired in controversy of spying, of all these things. And one of the first things he learns is that, oh, there was a data breach that we were legally obligated to share with the world. And instead of doing that, we paid the hackers $100,000, and he came forward voluntarily to say, we did this, we're sorry, and we're not going to do it again. Now, here's the thing that we need to keep in mind. Now, I have been criticizing Uber's I'm sorry tactic for years, but in this case, this was absolutely necessary. As a new CEO, if he'd found this out, he could be held liable. You see, Travis Kalanick was no longer the CEO of the company. He's not going to be held liable for this at the moment. Maybe in a future lawsuit, I don't know. But if Dara Khosrowshahi came in and he didn't report this and they found out and he was still the CEO, oh boy, there would be indictments. He did this to come clean for the company, to get ahead of the controversy as much as they possibly can, and to also highlight how different he was from Travis Kalanick, who knew about this and instead of alerting authorities, paid hush money. So that was probably the best they could do, but it made a lot of people unhappy, and of course it affected people here. In fact, the YouTuber formerly known as Uberman even received a letter about how his data was one of the accounts that was compromised during the hack. So that was probably a good day for him, don't you think? I never got that letter, by the way, so I probably do not qualify for what we're about to talk about, but Uber has admitted this, and they have agreed to settle for $148 million, and even though that might be chump change for Uber, it is actually a very big deal for similar situations like this. So according to CNBC, Uber has agreed to pay $148 million in connection with a 2016 data breach and subsequent cover-up, according to the California Attorney General's office. The breach, revealed last year, granted hackers access to the personal information of 57 million riders and drivers. The company concealed the hack for more than a year, Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi said in a statement at the time. Uber paid the hackers $100,000 to delete the data and keep the breach quiet rather than report the incident, which, by the way, we don't actually know if they ever deleted that information. I guess we will find out one of these days. Uber's decision to cover up this breach was a blatant violation of the public's trust. The company failed to safeguard user data and notify authorities when it was exposed. Consistent with its corporate culture at the time, Uber swept the breach under the rug in deliberate disregard of the law, California Attorney General Javier Becerra, I believe that's what it is, said in a statement. Now, what's going to be interesting about that comment, of course, is that he said Uber's management at the time, signaling that, at least on some level, they're happy that they came forward and that they don't consider this to be an issue at the moment. Hackers stole personal information, including names and driver's licenses, numbers of around 600,000 drivers in the U.S., rider names, email addresses, and mobile phone numbers. Quote, "We know that earning the trust of our customers and the regulators we work with globally is no easy feat," Uber's chief legal officer Tony West said in a statement. "We'll continue to invest in protections to keep our customers and their data safe and secure, and we're committed to maintaining a constructive and collaborative relationship with governments around the world." I bet they are. The $148 million will be distributed in varying amounts across the states and Washington, D.C. Now, what's unfortunate is that this ends up not being the article that did shed a light on how big of a deal this is. But other companies who have been caught in this very same thing have actually found themselves paying settlements of somewhere between 5 to 15 million. It's usually not this expensive. Now, I know people at this point are going to be posting names of companies and stuff like, oh, this person had 200 million, this was it. But guys, I said most. I didn't say all. Let's calm down. I know that some people do pay a lot, but it's not as common as you would think, especially since usually the companies are upfront with the data breach and they start making attempts right away to fix it. What definitely adds to the Uber problem is that they covered it up for more than a year. Who knows what damage they did? It's very hard to actually determine if the Uber breach data actually hurt anyone, and you'd have to go pretty far back in your credit report to see if it hurt you in any way. And so that was one of the problems. And so I don't know how much you're going to get out of this, because maybe it depends on how much damage you received from what happened. I don't know how they're going to divvy it up exactly, but Uber has essentially paid for it, and they have apologized profusely again. And I think when they announced this, they knew they would have to have a settlement. They knew it, but they would rather have had the settlement than have faced, criminal indictment. So there's that. And I guess that's all I have to say. What do you guys think? Do you know if you were ever personally affected by the Uber data leak? I would love to know. And if you were you able to get your affairs back in order? Please comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. See you at 12:30 a.m. tomorrow for the good news for Uber, but unfortunately, it's significantly worse for drivers. I actually kind of wish the stories were reversed, because I would have much rather Uber gotten away with this than what I'm going to talk about tomorrow.